Wars 2 new patch is coming, and with that we've gotten actually a whole roadmap of the next things we're gonna get before the expansion, and some information about the next expansion as well, as changes to PvE, War vs. World, and PvP. A lot in the game coming in. So, subscribe to the channel for more content of this, go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support me, and let's get into it. So, this is the new trailer, let's see it all together. Actually, just pause the music. Just so you guys have a bit of an idea of what's coming next week. It's actually a very good trailer, as well, we'll talk about it later.
Children of Nyos, you have lived in nightmare for millennia now. Not one day longer.
Every hour, more of my soldiers die. I fear we march to our end. And finally, she brings herself before the throne. I've been waiting, Princess of Traitors.
Okay, you guys can't see it, but there's a lot of information here about what is coming. I actually made a whole Excel sheet with everything that's coming, so it's a bit easier, but you can see here meta events, Suffused Obsidian Armor, Lonely Tower, new Fractal, Wayfinder Mastery, new Convergence modes and Challenge mode, 4 Convergences, you were gonna talk about that one, new Rainier Pet, Wizard's Vault, Refresh, Adventures, maybe Griffin Races, who knows, events and rewards, more achievements, collections, and relics. A lot, but we're gonna go into that very soon. First, I want to say that it's pretty funny to me that the cryptids are being literally... look at this. They're literally being, trying to, like, it almost enslaved by these little quaggons. Like, these, like, cryptid quaggons are like, no, don't move. Like, it's just so fucking funny. Regardless, yeah, very, very cool stuff. And at the end, I'm guessing this is a teaser of the actual fractal. Look at this. So I'm guessing that's gonna be the fractal boss, whatever it is. I don't think we know exactly what that can be. What the components boss is gonna be either. I'm guessing that it's gonna be Eparch. We're gonna fight Eparch in the meta. We're gonna fight him in the story, and we're gonna probably fight him as well in the convergence. That's what I would guess. We'll see. There's some people saying that maybe instead it's gonna be this little guy here. In the thumbnail of the video, but this like Karka-like enemy, we have seen it before in Skywatch, in other places. I doubt it's actually gonna be the case. So I doubt it. In this thumbnail, you can see, a lot of the characters from the game. You can see ourselves there, Dagda and Froden, Peitha trying to siege into the, into the Midnight King's castle, right? You can also see Eparch, which actually I found them very, very interesting. Like, his model really looks way better. Look at his eyes, look at his face, look at the details. It actually is kind of scary. It looks like a spider, right? It really does in some way. I'm not sure what it is about it that makes me think of a spider, but it really does. It truly, truly does. Now, let's go and check whatever. We actually have a studio update with everything, and we're gonna read through all of it, of course. But before, I want to give you a little bit of a, essentially a summary of everything, right? Actually, no, let's do this. I'm just going to leave it here if you guys just want to and I'll leave it in the description as well, if you guys want to just skip it through it and see exactly what it is. But we're going to read through everything, right? So, it says... studio update Guild Wars 2 in spring and summer 2024. Greetings Guild Wars 2 community. My name is Josh Davis. Oh, it's Crouch! And I'm the game director of Guild Wars 2. Today, I'm excited to present the Spring and Summer 2024 Studio Update and give you the latest scoop on what's coming to Tyria. We have a lot of ground to cover today, from Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure to World vs. World to play PvP and more, so let's dive into things. Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure. The final update of Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure, the Midnight King, will arrive next Tuesday, May 21st. This content will be available for free to all current and future owners of Guild Wars 2 Secrets of the Obscure. The final story chapter will bring the commander deeper into the world of Neos to the citadel of Sakiros, where the indomitable Midnight King himself resides, Eparch, right? These story chapters come with expanded playable space in Inner Neos and a climatic meta event chain. I really hope so, because I don't think the Skywatch meta and the Amethyst meta are very, very good. They're fine. We have not gotten anything epic Honestly, anything in EOD is way better in quality, I think, in terms of bosses than anything we've gotten in Secrets of the Obscure. Maybe you could argue that Inner Nyos East is kind of fun like that, and probably I would compare it to something like Gang War, but we haven't gotten our Dragon Sound. And I get that convergences are kind of like that, but not really. I don't think they've been as epic either. In addition to this, we'll release also includes the Lonely Tower, our latest Fractal Dungeon, the second tier of the Legendary Obsidian Armor Set, refreshed Wishes Vault, rewards and challenges, and 6 new relics. 6 new relics! That's a lot of relics, a lot of things that we have to collect. Even if you have the Legendary Relic, you are gonna have to farm this in order to unlock them once for you to be able to use them. I actually think that's a good change. I think it's a bad one. Otherwise, you can just skip the whole patch by just having the Legendary Relic. So, not good. We spent a few weeks monitoring the Fractal Dungeon and balancing the encounter if needed, and then on June 4th, we'll introduce the Fractals Challenge Mode. So, this makes me think that the Fractal might actually be a bit hard if they're gonna monitor the actual balance of it. That sounds like the CM is gonna be hard, and that sounds like the actual Fractal as well will be a bit hard. I just hope that it doesn't take as long as the last Fractal that we've gotten. In it lately have been really struggling into, I think personally, into putting events that have the right pacing and time completion. Happens with Fractals, happens with metas, since Jaladelves onwards. And I really hope they can, they have learned from that and they, stop. Because I don't think convergences, for example, could be so much more fun if they actually were a bit faster. Same thing with Southern Surf Fractal. And stop having so many phases. Same thing for, what's the word? From Skywatch, for Amnidas. It's just, yeah, it's a bit weird. And that's why I'm actually excited about, speaking of a challenge mode, we're excited to announce on May 21st release will also introduce a challenge mode for the squad version of Convergence, and it's 5 legendary bosses. Yes, there's a 5th boss coming. So I think that's actually pretty good, because I guess one of the reasons why they didn't want Convergences to take too little is because, well, then the if you have big DPS, you can just go insanely fast, way too fast, and it becomes something that's not very fun to do. But I think they overdid it, and I think Convergences take a bit too long, even with good DPS. Honestly, how it should be, in my opinion, it should be like, if it is what's the word? If you do a lot of DPS, you should feel like it's way faster, and it's it's fast. It's a fast meta, right? A bit faster than the normal way. And if you're slow, it is definitely slower than the normal way. And if you're a normal DPS, it is just a good amount of it takes a good amount of time, not too much, not too little. And I think that's what Convergences do very well. So I hope with the CM they can put all the difficulty and a lot of the health from these bosses and events into the CM and leave the normal mode as a very easy, fast thing to do. Maybe you can do this with something like the new masteries. We don't know what the masteries are gonna do, but I hope so. I really hope so. You'll fight amped up versions of each encounter while dealing with stricter resurrection rules. So I'm guessing we're not gonna be able to resurrect when we do this. So we really don't want to die. Maybe we can't even downstate. Who knows? And you're gonna fight amped up versions of each encounter. I really hope if they're actually doing this, they also fix some of the mechanics of each of the bosses. Sometimes it's just very annoying, like Sorrow, just pushing you outwards and just not being able to do anything about it. Not stun break, not stability, not anything. I understand that stability can be too powerful sometimes, but I think sometimes it becomes too much. Certain mechanics are very weirdly telegraphed. Like, for example, like, I don't know, like one of the bosses, I think it's Sorrow's sister. She has like an eye on her head, but you look at her, nothing happens. She just does like a random attack onwards, which I guess it's a tell of what's gonna happen, but I don't know. I think it's a bit weird. So I really hope that some of the feedback that people have gotten through the process of Convergences gets addressed here, so people have a better time on these CMs, because otherwise it's not really gonna be enjoyable, even if it's hard. You'll earn extra rewards from your efforts, and achieving a gold ranked clear time on all 5 encounters will net you a new title to show off to your post. That's awesome. Something to show off, something to earn from doing this CMs. A great idea, at least once. We're also adding an in-game leaderboard for all 5 bosses, so you can compete with your friends to the fastest clear times and bragging rights. That's also great. It's kind of crazy to me that we're literally getting Convergence leaderboards before we got fractal leaderboards. After they was like announced like the release on the release of fractals like 10 years ago, and we still don't have that. We already have this. That is crazy to me, but I mean, I guess it's the new content, so I guess they will put that effort into it. I also hope that I'm guessing what's gonna end up happening though is that there's gonna be like a few people that are going to grind for this gold achievements, this gold times, the best time of everything. But I don't think it's not gonna be that many people. It's just gonna be for records, and it's kind of fun. But I don't think it's gonna be like this like big. It's just gonna be for just very, very hardcore players that want to try hard at, which I think is completely fine. I think in other games, they give you like, if you do the best of the week, they give you a better reward, which will be a nice thing to do. I don't think it's needed, but I think it will be a nice thing to do. I also think this is probably going to be a thing that you want to do weekly at least, every CM, or, you know, one convergence CM. And definitely join my guild, guys. You can leave your name in the description. We're definitely going to be doing that probably every week and doing the hard mode because we want the rewards. And I'm not going to do normal mode. That's boring, right? So, and we always do Drown's End and all the other hard events, so might as well, right? Finally, we have 3 exciting quality of life updates coming from this release. First, squad messages will now appear when hovering over commanders' icons in the minimap. Absolutely great. So whenever you see the minimap and you see someone in the squad, let's say there's a commander here, it'll show you what the squad message is. Oh, I'm doing a meta train. Oh, I'm doing a hero point train. Absolutely great. Definitely good for me as I do a lot of trains. It's gonna be make my train way more popular, I hope, at least. So I think it's a great change for me, definitely, and I guess for everyone, right? This will make it easier to identify the purpose of the squad, you know, especially without having to join it, when you have multiple commanders operating on the same map. Second, by popular request, we'll introduce a nifty accessibility upgrade that allows players to customize the color and the shape of the targeting reticle while using the action camera mode. So you can actually choose on the way that you're gonna end up using your action camera mode. Now you can just, you know, you use action cam and you can see a point. But now you're gonna be able to change that if you really want to use it. Action cam is not something that people use a lot, though. I don't think, and it's probably worse for you in terms of like becoming better at the game, but I know that certain people need to use it for accessibility, you know, because they can't do it, they can't play the game otherwise. So I think it's a good accessibility change, so I like that. And finally, we're increasing the guild membership limit from 5 to 6 to all players, and to make some friends. So this is because of War vs. World reconstructing. I'm guessing that the guild membership limit from 5 to 6 is gonna happen on the release, so next week. Because they mentioned it right here. So yeah, I definitely think that's going to be the case. War vs. World updates. Finally, they're talking that we're going to get War vs. World reconstruction on June 14th. Isn't that crazy, guys? That's awesome. Well, a lot of people don't like it, but I do think it's the feature of War vs. World, and it's probably where we want to, you know, if we want War vs. World to continuously change and get better over time, this is something that had to happen before, and I think it's just a matter of time that it happened, and I'm happy that we can finally just start doing the change and fixing the things that War restructuring needs to be better and overall get a better game mode. This feature has been a long time coming. Yeah, a long time coming, like multiple years, and there will be undoubtedly be kinks that will need to iron out with the launch. By making the feature perpetually available to players will allow us to iterate on the system more quickly than the limited beta events were run previously. For example, we're continuing to hammer out the remaining Q bugs. Actually, I really hope that they got those as good as they could, because I really, you know, the Q bugs can be very, very annoying, and I'm guessing that they mentioned the other one that they were really trying to fix those issues before War vs. World restructuring came out. So I'm guessing that most of them are fixed, and the only ones that are left are things that will happen in live version of Guild Wars 2 anyways. And that's why they don't think it's a big deal to use, right? To do. I also am kind of happy because my guild from War vs. World moved servers, and this is going to be so much easier for every one of you guys to just join our guild, if you are interested in War vs. World, and just play with us, regardless. I think that's going to be awesome. Definitely leave a link in the description and just say it's your if you want to join our War vs. World guild, if you want to be invited. Yeah. To further mitigate the queue issue in the short term, we'll add an additional tier to both NA and the EU vs. World, which will reduce the queue length for maps during prime time. So essentially, they're making it so there's going to be more servers that are going to be produced, right? Before, I think it was 12 servers per region. Now they're going to be 15. I think that's the numbers. So now, regardless of the guild that you're in, you know, the servers will be smaller, right? And you'll be able to play with your guild, of course, but the servers will be smaller, so you won't have a situation where there's a lot of queue because there's going to be less people in each matchup, right? So this should, and everything is going to be more balanced as well, as they are going to be the ones, instead of us, you know, putting, hey, I'm going to this server, this popular server, everything should be more or less the same amount of people in each server. So I'm hoping that's going to be work pretty well. And it's definitely going to be very exciting. We have a few important changes coming to help prepare for the introduction of world restructuring. We're increasing the guild membership limit from 5 to 6 to give WvW players some added flexibility in creating or joining guilds for world restructuring. Second, we're introducing an in-game timer under name Next Creation Lookout, and you can see here in the guild panel to communicate which changes to battle guilds will take effect. So it'll tell you, hey, there's only 11 hours, so you need to join one of your guilds, otherwise you're not gonna get paired with them. Go now, and it will happen in 11 hours. So it's a good change. Finally, to help memorize the worlds, so we have battling over for the past 12 years, you'll be able to do a new title to honor them. Example, Ambil Rock Veteran. So you're gonna be able to choose a title to represent your old server. Let's say I played a lot in Stormblood Isle. So I'm gonna be able to choose, hey, I'm a Stormblood Isle veteran. I was in that server. And then when I see other person coming, you know, towards me, I'm gonna be able to see their title and be like, oh shit, you also play in Stormblood Isle. That's crazy. That's awesome, right? And you can choose. The thing is, you can choose whichever you want. It's not like you could essentially choose a server you've never been into, which is a bit of a weird one. I think they probably should make it so that doesn't happen, so you can only choose in servers you have been actually into. But I guess the problem is, like, sometimes people have been in another account or whatever, so I guess it's better this way. And why would you lie anyways? I mean, I guess some people would want to be like, guys, I was in Maguma, but I don't think this really, even though they win a lot, and apparently they're not winning anymore, because a few people left of that server. I don't think that's really something to like be like, oh, I'm so proud of this. I don't think it's really gonna be that big of a deal. I think most people are gonna be very truthful about where they come from. Now, the May 21st update also brings some quality of life and balance adjustments, largely in response to the feedback we've been monitoring since our last round of changes in April 16. We're continuing to observe impact of recent changes and expect to iterate more on World vs. World systems and future updates. The health bar for objective lords will now be displayed on the event UI, making their status way easier to track. Pro tip, oh, that's also true, you can actually click on the champion tower lord, or this happens in PvE as well. You can click on the symbol here and you will target that boss, which is very, very useful. Siege disruptors will now be unblockable. So now, beforehand, siege disruptors would essentially make it so the siege of the enemy will do less damage, but it could be reflected. So, and reflects are not that hard to use, and you can just spam them. So you would never use siege disruptors. This way, you actually are going to be able to use them, which is actually a very good thing. We're increasing the base level on tier 3 supply capacities by taking 50 and increasing the amount of supply granted by the supply drop tactic by 100 to add some power back to defending. They really have been thinking a lot about making defend a bit easier for people to do, so they actually get incentivized to do it, and this seems like another thing. The Chilling Fog Activator now heals allied players every few seconds for its duration instead of chilling enemy players. I think I've seen like half and half on positive and negative things on this one, but it does seem like, I mean, being chilled, it really is annoying, right? It really is annoying, and healing allied players instead seems like a bit of a, you know, more fun thing to do, at least for the defenders, right? I don't know, we'll see how people like it, but also they should change it from Chilling Fog to something else. Like, why would it be called Chilling Fog if you're not chilling? Okay, call it like Healing Fog or something. I don't know what to tell you. Like Healing Mist, something. Like, this is just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Player versus player updates. Now, this is something I did not expect coming. They're literally changing a lot out of PvP. Crazy, actually insane. I could not believe it. On June 25th, we'll be introducing some quality of life and reward improvements in preparation of the next Rank season on July 2nd. To add some new build options, we're introducing 2 new attribute amulets: Heretic, 1000 power, 1000 precision, 500 healing, and 500 ferocity, and Tyrant, 1000 power, 1000 condition damage, 500 precision, and 500 toughness. And adding Ogre and Tormenting Runes. Very interesting. Tormenting Runes essentially probably is only going to be used by Renegades, Conde Renegades, which is a very insane build, so I hope it's not too powerful. We'll see. Ogre seems like, well, actually, Ogre, Tyrant, and Heretic seem like things that you can use to get a bit more health, and I think that's probably what they want, to have less one-shot builds. So by giving up, runes and amulets that give you power and precision, you still DPS, still DPS options, but also give you some healing power, some toughness. It will make it, and also lower the damage a little bit overall, and I think they're going to be worth using, by the way. This will make it so it's a bit easier for people to not get one-shot, and less likely for them to go to one-shot builds as well. I think it's we'll see how it ends up working, but I think it'll be good. On the rewards fronts, our goal is to make Ascended armor and weapons more accessible in PvP by increasing their numbers of Grandmaster marks that can be earned each season, and decreasing the number of Ascended shards of glory needed to purchase Ascended armor and weapons. We'll also be introducing reward track options, potions, and adding new source of new karma from PvP rewards. Very cool. Karma is not really used in Guild Wars 2 too much. I'm very happy about that one. Reward track potions, pretty cool as well. I'm not sure if we're gonna be able, I'm guessing we're gonna be buying potions for karma, probably weekly, maybe daily. I think that's great. Just get rid of my karma. I just want to use it somewhere. Also pretty cool that you're gonna be able to get Ascended armor and weapons way easier for skins, or whether you need them from Ascended. A good reason to do PvP now is gonna actually be to gear up. Absolutely great idea. Finally, like the prestigious color titles we've added for Warfare 1 and Endgame PvE, we'll be updating the Champion Brawler title awarded for 10,000 rated arena games to a color version. So yeah, it is kind of crazy to me that they didn't do that in the first place. The Warfare 1 and PvE got color titles, PvP didn't, and now they're actually doing that. Absolutely awesome. I think that's great. Great idea. In the July 16 update, we'll be adjusting the frequency of our daily automated tournaments to consolidate teams into fewer events and increase competitiveness. It is true, like, let's be real, guys, not a lot of people do daily tournaments, so what ends up happening is that the PvP population just gets spread in all these daily tournaments, and that's not good. Because you're gonna end up having very low-level players fighting against very big-level players. That's not fun for anyone. So by making them smaller, that means that more people are going to have to go to the same tournament, therefore having the matchmaking way better. This seems like a good time to mention that we're also bringing back Tournament of Legends event on twice yearly cadence. So twice a year we're going to get Tournament of Legends, which used to be a tournament that you would get a legendary if you win it, which is actually a very exciting thing to have, I think. And hopefully will make people actually go for more tournaments and actually play PvP. They also are adding a new weekly tournament event on Sunday in each region that features increased rewards. So you probably would want to do a Sunday PvP tournament every week to get very good rewards, and also maybe some PvP dailies, some PvP weeklies, and get better so you can go into the Tournament of Legends eventually and get a full legendary just by winning there. Now, it is actually... Oh, also, we'll also address some long-standing feedback on Jin's Dominion map in July 6th 16 update by making some improvements on the secondary map objective and then associated special action keys. They're literally fixing the map. That map is not really good. The objective is kind of The special action key is also very There's literally no point in doing any of the objectives ever. You just stand there and you attack and you get the points, and that's it. Honestly, they probably should look into the Trebuchet map as well, because nobody uses that either. I really hope so, at least. And it's kind of crazy to me that they're putting so much effort into PvP. Guild Wars 2 used to be a very strong PvP game. Back in the day, they had even an esports scene, kind of. And they really seem to want to recapture some of that. Guild Wars 2 really has some good PvP, so I don't think it's wasted effort. It's just very surprising to me that they're doubling down on it. They even, and this you can see this back here, in July 16, when all these PvP changes are happening, they're going to do a PvP rush event. So that way people will actually get incentivized to actually try the new changes, which is a great idea. Very well done. Yeah, very good job. Skills and balance update. Our next set of skills and balance update will arrive on June 25th. Will be primarily focused on improving the usability of underwater skills, utilities, and traits, and underpowered, not underwater, my bad. Skills, utilities, and traits, and bringing in outlier builds where necessary. As usual, the skills and balance team will be live on Twitch next Friday, May 24th. To give a preview of the update and the release notes preview will be live on our forums shortly after. We'll see you there. So next week on Friday, we're gonna see the new balance update, which I'm very interested in. It seems like a big one, considering they're announcing it 1 month beforehand. I don't know what they're going to do actually. Because most of the things are kind of like, yeah, I mean, most of the things are kind of fixed. Everyone has an alacrity, giver. Everyone has a quickness giver. In each spec, in each class. So I'm guessing that we're gonna start like really fixing some skills that are just not useful. I don't know, maybe they're gonna rework banners in warrior, stuff like this, that people never use because they're not good, right? I hope so, at least. Then you can see the festival and bonus events. The one that really I like, the one here, is the Sunken Treasure Week. I don't know if you guys know, but there's this like you probably have encountered this item specifically. Let me see if I have it. Yeah, this one, ornate rusted keys. This can be used to open chests around the world in very specific places. For example, there's in Corteria, by the way, and you get a lot of them all the time. And it seems we're gonna get an event from doing that, which is a good way of making people actually go and test a new type of farming method that nobody usually does. I was actually gonna make a video about that very soon. And I guess I don't have to because, well, they're gonna do an event for it. Maybe I do it anyways so you guys can prepare for it as well. Also, PvP Rush event, Living War Season 3, Festival of 4 Winds, Sunken Treasure, PvP Contest, Dragon Bash, Dungeon Rush bonus event. One thing that I will say here, which is very interesting, is that Festival of 4 Winds ends on August 20. So I'm guessing that the expansion is gonna come after that. Probably in the... wait. Let me go to August. In the 27th of August. I'm guessing that's what's going to end up happening. We probably will see this as well with the Wizard's Vault special tab and when that ends. And I'm guessing that we're also going to get the announcement of the expansion the day of the release of this patch. Because otherwise you can just clearly say when the extra expansion is going to come out. Maybe I will be wrong. Maybe they'll change the Wizard's Vault special tab and the timer of that later. But we'll have to see. And of course, just because I'm talking about this, they're talking about expansion as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What happens after the Midnight King? Well, you'll find out very soon. As it turns out, in the next few weeks, we'll be posting a development retrospective blog post for Guild Wars 2 Seekers of the Obscure that talks about what we learned from the process and how we're taking those lessons forward into our next expansion. Shortly after that, you'll get your first look at what next expansion has to offer. Between that and everything we talked about before, above, it's shaping up to be a very exciting summer. So they're going to talk about what they actually thought about the Seekers of the Obscure expansion, what they can do better. I really hope, I really hope that they talk about a lot of the criticisms from this expansion, from reused assets to not so exciting metas, to the story not being as good and developed as before. I really hope so. And they talk about how they want to fix those things. Of course, that doesn't mean that they're actually gonna do that, right? But I really hope so. I really hope they talk about it because I want the next expansion to be good and learn from the mistakes of this expansion. I really think the next expansion needs to be good, as otherwise people are gonna be dooming a lot about Guild Wars 3 and the expansion is bad because they're just working on Guild Wars 3 instead. We don't want that to happen. So, and then they congratulate some of the employees that have been in 20 years in the company. Timmy Foot, Aaron Coverley, Andrew Frosty Gray, and Matthew Medina. Pretty cool. And they do have a little roadmap. Now this roadmap is kind of nice, but it's really not that useful. There's a lot of things missing here. That's why instead I made this one. Where you have everything in the actual roadmap. So we have release everything here. We already talked about it. New meta, Lonely Tower Fractals, Suffused, Legendary Armor, Wizard's Vault, 6 Relics, New Mastery, Convergence Modes, CM and Leaderboard, Adventures, Collections, Quality of Life, Action Camp, Squad Message, Warver's World Changes, Health, Fog, Disruptor, and Supply changes. Balance Update Preview on Friday, Retrospective on Soto very soon, and I'm guessing the announcement of the expansion. Well, I forgot as well, Ranger Pet and Guild 6th spot. There you go. 4th of June is going to be the expansion announcement. I'm guessing more or less. Maybe, no, actually, I'm going to actually leave this because I actually have no idea. It could be around this time, but there's no way of knowing, actually. The CM is going to come in then time and nothing else. June 14th, Warver's World Restructuring is enabled. Everyone uses it. 6th Guild is actually wrong. That should be on the release. Warver's World title as well for the server that you were playing before this change. June 25th, new gear for PvP, Grandmaster Marks, Ascended Purchase for PvP, more buffs, I guess. You get more Grandmaster Marks and you get more Ascended. Karma options to get more items, right? Title, color for 10k skills, and skills and balance as well. Yeah, that's gonna be the patch. July 16th, Warver's World scoring is gonna get a change, considering, you know, all the feedback that they probably got for 1 month from World vs. World restructuring. Daily AT buffs, weekly AT buffs, Tournament of Legends changes, and PvP rush event as well. So everything here, July 16th, PvP week is what it's gonna be. Then expansion release probably on the August 27th. So a lot of things happening from here on out. I'm very excited to see what they say. I think this is gonna be a few months of a lot of speculation. I think we're gonna be talking about the next expansion as well, even though, you know, I mean, I think there's a lot of things here. It's just that if you're not into PvP and Warver's World, you might think this is gonna be a bit empty, but I'm guessing, depending on how grindy the suffused legendary armor is gonna be, and I'm guessing we're gonna have to do convergences bosses on CM to get that one, we're gonna have a lot of grind to do from here until the release of the expansion, as well as a lot of things to react to when they actually show things about the next expansion, as they said. So I'm very excited for it. I think it's a very good post. Thank you, Grudge, of course. And tell me what you guys think. Tell me if you think it's good. Tell me if you think it's going to be bad. So, yeah, I think there's a lot of things here, and I'm very excited for it. I think they're really trying their best to do as much as they can when they have time, with the time they have. I just hope that the expansion can go with a bang and just absolutely blast, and a lot of people coming back to the game. We'll see what this also, you know, what the next end game content schedule looks like for the next expansion. As I said, that something's going to change about that. Maybe it's going to be convergence bosses, maybe it's going to be a new raid, who knows. But of course, subscribe to the channel from my this, go to my Twitch to watch this live, go to my Ko-Fi if you want to support me, and see you guys around. Love you all.